How long have we been going for, boys?
Say about 2 hours.
Yeah.
We never introduced it.
We never introduced it.
Hey guys, welcome to the
Started talking.
podcast. My name is Tom Kennelly. I'm the leader of this podcast. It was all my idea. This is my friend John and my friend Sebastian.
They can't see us because we're not talking.
Yeah, and like this is my podcast, man. Let's get right into the news. Now crop that out and put it at the very
Move it to the beginning.
That's exactly what I was going to do. I thought about it while we were talking. I was like, we should do an intro at the end, and then I'll just put it in the beginning.
Ready? 3, 2, 1, intro.
Wait, are we actually doing an intro? Or we're not using the other one?
3, 2, 1, intro.
Hello.
Saying 3, 2, 1 intro.
3, 2, 1, intro.
Hello, and welcome to the first episode of the Rooomies Podcast. I am
Play
Jonathan.
the music.
Do Roomies.
It's Tommy the Turtle on the beats.
I'm sad.
Intro music.
I'm dead.
I don't know. Tom's intro is far better than mine. He's like, "Oh, Tommy on the beats." Like,
Starring Tom.
Right, so
Sorry,
our
Mom.
homework is to make nicknames
John.
for our Zoom.
Featuring Sebastian.
Hello.
Seb's the one that's like, it's never starring him. It's always featuring him. Even though he's in every episode. With
All right, now we gotta film an outro.
Phone.
Tom, I passed you in Warzone wins.
yeah, well, you also play with like people who actually try hard. I play
No,
with
we don't. We actually don't try that hard. We're just that good.
No. I play with Michael Cummings.
That's not true. Okay, it's true, but that's not every night. Majority
Plus, I
no.
play with Eddie. Eddie's a bonehead when it comes to that stuff.
Bro, he's carried. He got carried then because he has the highest wins on my friends list. He has 16. I have 14.
Eddie?
Yeah.
Well, Eddie also plays randoms.
Oh.
He'll play matchmaking quads and get wins like that.
That's
Which
I was gonna say.
so dumb.
which he was telling us about it. It sounded like the worst thing ever because he was like, literally, you just play so passive. You literally just storm camp. You just all just huddle up together and just like when someone moves, everyone moves.
I was gonna say that's how I played Fortnite.
But honestly, like, we rarely finish outside like top 10. Either we die like right off drop or we're in top 10.
Survivors.
Which literally, once we get top 10, though, everything hits the fan.
Yeah.
We'll be in downtown and there'll be everyone on the building and there'll be us just like hiding in a bus. Like, what do we do now?
I have to say the only time I've been really mad about when we die is when we left the bunker the other day and then got shot in the back.
Oh, yeah, that was funny.
That pissed me off because I was gonna say maybe we should wait and stay until the storm goes and we would have killed them.
But at the same time, like we had a 30 kill game the game before.
Yeah.
And then I don't know whose idea it was to camp in the bunker. I'm like, why are we camping? Like I'm on fire. I had like 16. I think Eddie had I had 14. Eddie had like
I had one.
you had 1.
I had one, that's all.
And Eddie had math. I had 14. Eddie had Joe
Between
had
Eddie and Joe, they had 15.
yeah. I think Joe had like 5 and Eddie had 10.
It's so frustrating because I try to like flank and by the time I get there, they're already dead.
Oh my god.
Or I jump in front of you.
And that's the thing too, with Joe and Eddie, they don't play like they just do whatever they want.
Yeah. I just follow you.
Me and Joe play duo. Duos is fun. It's really sweaty but fun.
I haven't tried it out yet. I've been grinding on multiplayer.
Me and Joe played yesterday, and we were like final circle. It was like probably it was like 5 squads of 2 left. We're on top of the police station. There was a team in police station. I downed one, and literally like my mom just came home from work, and she like crossed the TV to like check outside, and then like I like low key fell off the roof as she was like walking by. So I after the game, like I went downstairs, like, cause I got off anyway, and I was like, Joe, I know this is odd, and this is wrong, but I'm blaming that on Mom. And he was like, fair, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I hate to do it, but I have to.
I have to blame that on Mom.
I mean, I've been playing like solo duos is fun. Like I've been doing that a lot and just going for kills.
Should I tell Seb what I said to my mom while we were playing?
Oh my god.
So we're like in the middle of a firefight where there's like 3 teams left or 4. And my mom like opens the door. I'm like, Mom, now is not a good time. And then she just closes the door and left.
And all I hear is, sorry. Like literally, it's the one time I heard like John like semi-talk back to his mom. I felt so bad. And it was like all 4 of us alive hunting down one guy in the final circle. I'm like, wasn't that serious, John?
Oh yeah, you're right. It was final circuit. Sir.
And then we had I remember we had Eddie that game. We were walking by. It was down by prison, and like near between like port and prison, bottom of the map. There's like a little shed, and I'm like, let's check the shed. And Eddie's like, oh no, you can't get into that one. No, you definitely can't. I literally like look through, and it was like one of those like double doors, and all I see is just a guy standing in the middle. And I spray him down. The other guy comes out. Joe kills him, and he's like, "Oh, that's the wrong shed, I guess." So you see why we lose so much, because we have Eddie's bad callouts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but how much are you at now, Seb?
I'm at 14.
I think I'm 1 behind you. Then I think I had 13. Yeah. All right. Let me get one right now. Boom, boom, boom.
I'm beating both of you.
And I have the most impressive win. I carried John on his first night of Call of Duty.
That's really true.
Duos, trios.
That's really true. I think I got like 0 kills, and then you're on your own.
I had like 8, I think.
Yeah.
And then I carried John and Mike to a 2nd place on Mike's very, very first day playing a shooter game.
He's never played a shooter before.
Yeah, he told us that like his mom, like, she's like, as long as you live under my house, you'll never play like a violent video game. And like Mike downloaded Warzone for free, and he's like, yeah, I hope she never walks in when I'm playing. It's like the memes. It's like loading up GTA as like a long loading screen, and there's that one screen of the girl in the bikini. Is just like the kid like.
Was it my friend's mom told my mom about what goes on in GTA, and I wasn't allowed to get it. Also, my Xbox was in my living room, so that's a big reason why.
My first GTA was GTA 4. And I just remember that, like, me and my brother, like, just got it. And then, like, 2 days after we got it, there was, like, a story about these 2 kids that were, like, inspired by GTA and, like, went out and, like, started, like, assaulting people with baseball bats.
That's wild.
So my mom was kind of like, I just got it for them. Like, she was like, she's like, I better not get any of that from you. I'm like, yeah, Mom, because me at the age of 13 or whatever will go out and just assault people with baseball bats. Yeah. Like, I go to Catholic school. Why would I do that?
I go to Catholic school.
Come on, trust me.
Do you want to hear what Mike told me today, Tom?
Uh-oh. I don't, but I do.
Because I was telling Seb before, I was playing before I got on here with Mike, and he goes, "This terrain is treacherous. I should have brought my Nikes."
I, the stuff this kid says, I have like, you can't make it up.
He also said, "Oh, that guy was in a bush. I wasn't trained for that."
Oh my god!
I
The
love
amount
Mike.
of times he asked me, "Tom, is this a good gun?" Mike, do you think it's a good gun? I have an Uzi. Is the Uzi a good gun? Next game. Tom, I picked up an Uzi. Is the Uzi a good gun? 2 games after that. Tom, I picked up an Uzi. Is that a good gun?
Remember the stairs?
Oh my, that's what I was about. That's what just came to my mind too. We're in a house, and like just a regular house. It wasn't like one of the buildings with like the 2 staircases, like general house. It was like construction yard, and 1 staircase in every single house there. I think I was like getting very I was like peppered at the time. I had like no health, low health. John was dead, and Mike is there. And I said, Mike, he's gonna be coming up the stairs. Mike does Mike's looking at the stairs. He does the slowest like 360 turnaround that you could have possibly done. And I'm like, and the guy comes up and wrecks us. And I'm like, Mike, I told you he was coming up the stairs. He's like, I didn't know which stairs. I was like, Mike, you were looking at them. He's like, well, I don't know this game. I was like, Mike, how many staircases do you have in your house? He was like, okay, you got a point there.
I love him so much. Oh, except you got to play with him one day.
I don't have him on Activision or whatever.
Yeah, and he definitely won't know how to add you, so that's all up to you, Seb.
Thanks.
He won't. It's so true.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Did we like start this podcast, or like is this still like the prelude?
It could be the prelude. I've been recording this entire time. It's this entire conversation.
I see the wreck.
Oh. You know what I love about it too? It just cuts to whoever's speaking. So if you're not speaking, you kind of do what you want.
Hey, they may not see us because Seb's not talking, but Seb is now shirtless. Hey.
I'm not, though. I promise.
He just put his hoodie back on so that he wouldn't get exposed.
Yeah, with the hat and the headphones over the hood.
He's like those the quick change people that like they go behind a curtain for like 5 seconds. It's like a whole new outfit. I'm the only one without a cup.
Here, I'll pass you mine.
Oh wait, I have this.
But do you have juice boxes?
No.
You should. Ew.
Why'd you make that seem like it was the ultimate flex?
Right? It's like, you have juice boxes, though?
What? So, when the pandemic started, I went to the grocery store and I came back because I used to, like you guys know, I have like the little apple juices.
Yes.
So I got some of those and then I was like, screw it, I'm going to get some Capri Sun and some High C. So I come home, I have those because I'm too lazy to get up and pour a drink. So I'd rather just grab something and go.
So you literally just have them stocked up in your room.
I got a 40-pack that I'm slowly making a dent in.
I would feel like that would last me a week.
Small. It's been about a week. I've had a quarter of it.
Yeah. I'm like a cat. That stuff. I'm like a camel. I drink so much.
I gotta be more hydrated.
Beverages.
Was it? But to compare juice boxes, Capri Sun suck.
I think High C's more like sugar, though.
Which explains why you think Capri Sun suck, because John's a sugar whore.
Yeah, it's true. But also just in quantity. Like, there's so much more in this box than there is in that little pouch. Like, I could down that in one sip. In this, it takes me like 4.
That's a great way of measurement.
Sips.
It's like screw the liter, gallon, cups measurements. No, it's all Jon-sips.
Sips.
It's pasteurized.
The new Coke products are going to come out and be like, you can get them in 2 Jon-sips or 4 Jon-sips.
The math equations are going to be like, how many Jon-sips does it take to finish a liter of water? Title of the episode, Jon-sips.
Common Core.
Common Core. Shut up.
Notes.
Tom, did you have to deal with Common Core? No, right?
No. I got out of it just like, I think the year I graduated, that's when it like came into effect.
Yeah, I think it started that year, and then we got heavy into it our year.
Oh. I thought they, like, the incoming freshmen started with it.
I definitely just remember high school with Common Core, so like that could be.
Yeah.
Yeah, my year was at Malloy. My year was the first year.
Gotcha. I thought it was like I graduated, and then like when I instituted Common Core, it was like the incoming freshmen, and then like the sophomores, juniors, and seniors finished off whatever they were learning.
Yeah, that's what they did for our school too.
No, school's gotten so much better since I left it. Everyone has an iPad. Everyone has a computer.
That's so true. That is so true.
Meanwhile, there I am carrying like 4 textbooks during like fixed mods.
Fixed mods.
Oh my god, that was the worst.
Yeah, fixed mods.
What's a fixed mod?
So you had your rotating schedule. It was like, I want to say it was like 4 periods, and then you get fixed mods and then 2 periods after. Fixed mods were basically like, it was like,
it's basically like when lunch took place.
yeah,
For everyone, and like everyone had like a different lunch slot, but like whatever class you had in fixed mods never changed throughout the week. It was always the same time, same place.
Okay. It was like 20-minute intervals, so you would have like, you could have like first lunch and then go to class, and then like the bell would go off every 20 minutes, and it was just so annoying.
Yeah, every time the bell would go off, it would be like the end of that lunch period and then the start of another one, or like whatever.
That's really annoying.
It was, and like you weren't allowed to go to your locker at all during fixed mods, which I thought was the dumbest thing of all time. Like they would snipe you for, like some of like teachers would like write you up for being in the like the hallways during fixed mods.
That's wild.
Yeah, I mean the worst was though is when you had like a fixed mod and like it'd be the last or first fixed mod and you'd have a double period with that. So say like chemistry was my last fixed mod.
Oh my god!
There'll be some days where you have like the chemistry right after. I just remember it being like a big joke on like Twitter and like all the group chats. Like every time we would come back from a holiday, everyone would just be like, "What day is it tomorrow?" Because each day was like day 1 through 5.
Right.
So you can start a week on a day 5.
Right.
Or you can.
I would not like. There would be times where I'd be like, I don't know what day it is, and like I'd have to wait for like the announcement to happen. But the announcement always happens like 5 minutes before class, and it'll be like day 4, and I'm like, I have gym first period, and I don't have my stuff, so sorry.
God. Say what you want about high school gym class, like it was so unnecessary. My first 2 years at Trinity, it was the best because literally you could wear anything Holy Trinity attire. So I literally like pretty much like wore my practice basketball shorts and then like just a random Holy Trinity shirt. You can literally like bring in like new clothes every day, and it's so good. And then I think my junior year they enforced it that you needed to wear the gym uniform every like gym class.
That's annoying.
Which I think a gym uniform is stupid. And like you'd have those kids that like go so hard in gym and they'd be like dripping sweat And her shirt would have like such sweats because they're gray shirts too. You see everything on gray. And you'd have this one kid that's dripping sweat. And then the next day he has gym, he's putting that same shirt on.
Yeah, because those kids don't bring it home. They don't. They just leave it in their locker.
It's so gross.
It's disgusting.
Jeez. Then you got those kids that wear sweatpants.
I don't think you were allowed to wear sweatpants if it was like cold-ish outside, but you would wear it over your shorts. You weren't allowed to just.
But it was like so perfect. Like I loved the first 2 years, and then for some reason I got like hard on it. I was like, dang, this sucks now.
Jeez. Was it because I was one of the people that wore sweatpants, and then I like saw the social status of people that wore sweatpants, and I was like, gotta change the pants. And then I just like switched into shorts, and I was like, you don't have gym shorts though, like the uniform. And I was like, they don't care.
I just remember in middle school, if you wore shorts, you were like top tier. Like you were like the coolest. Like no matter how cold it was, if you wore shorts, you were the coolest. So everyone would wear the sweatpants. Like, when was gym class coming? I was like, oh, gym shorts, yeah. And it's just like, what? It makes no sense to me now, but of course, like 13-year-old Tom was like, yep, gotta wear my gym shorts this day. It was so bad.
Now, did you wear your gym uniform the entire day? Or you switch back to?
For middle school, for me, or like my entire like K to whatever, it was like you had your 2 days of gym, whether it be like Tuesday, Thursday, Monday, Wednesday, whatever it was. You would have your gym day and you would wear your specific gym uniform. And then the other days you would wear your whatever uniforms. Like
right.
Yeah.
What about for high school?
High school, it was uniform, and then you had to go get changed. And then, yeah.
Is it that some people had like gym for us, Tom, like 3 times a week? Was that a thing?
I really can't remember that far back.
For Malloy, there was one. The sophomores would always have gym 3 times a week because instead of having health, because we had a 6-day cycle, so instead of having 3 days of health, it was 2 days of health and I think a gym class, something like that.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I think it was
definitely 2, at least
definitely
2 days.
2, yeah.
Yeah. There might have been like, I don't know if it was like part of like a half credit kind of thing. Like you had a class for half a semester, and then
wasn't it like either one semester you might have 3 gyms, and then like the next semester you might have 2 in a study hall?
Yeah, I think so. Which, whatevs, didn't bother me. My brother always told me, well, because he was 2 years above me, he told me that they played this game. It was called X-Ball. They would go into the wrestling room. And this wrestling room was probably like the size of your bedroom. It's a small room. And it was like all like padded around, padded floor, and it was like 2 lights in it. And they would tape 2 X's on the wall. And it'd pretty much be like 10v10 dodgeball in that small room. And if you hit the X, then like your entire team won or whatever. So my brother was telling me like they played it, and then this one kid broke his nose playing it, which still baffles me how someone gets their nose broken with the dodgeball. I guess whatever. But he's like, it was the funnest game ever. He's like, and you'll never get to play it. I'm like, wow, great, thanks.
There's a famous game at Malloy called Raj Ball, because one of the teachers, Raj, invented it. I think I might be like the only person that never played.
Wow, look at you. Be a leader, not a follower.
Exactly. Didn't go by the
topics of school. Was there anything useless that like was just there at your school? Because like I have the best example for Trinity, Tom. I don't know if you know what I'm thinking of.
I'm really trying to think of it, but I can't.
The most useless like space of all time in our school.
I really can't remember.
So at Trinity, there's 2 lanes that go to like the back of the school because like the back of the school is like where all the classrooms are or whatever. So if you enter from you know exactly where I'm going with this. So to connect these 2 paths, there's this little garden space, and it's just there, and it's honestly the biggest waste of space of all time. I remember coming in as freshmen, they like talked about it, and they're like, "Oh, it's so nice to go out and catch a breath of air or whatever." And like freshmen like thought it was like the coolest thing. And
meanwhile, it's nowhere near close to any of your classes.
It's not close to any of your classes. So like you would take it, and basically it wouldn't lead you anywhere. It would literally just cross to the other side of the hallway. So like literally you won't go any further if you took this way. So like, you just cross to, like straight across.
And so like you weren't even allowed out there.
Yeah, half the time we weren't even allowed out there because the door wasn't open. And then once you did cross, everyone that's walking past it made fun of you because they're like, "Yo, look at these losers crossing the garden or whatever." So it quickly became this thing where like no one did it except incoming freshmen. And I was just like, that was the biggest waste of space I've ever seen in my entire life.
Just in case you wanted a quick stroll in the park after lunch.
Yeah. I think I like throughout my 4 years there, I maybe used it like less than 5 times.
Jeez.
I don't even think I used it once.
I think I used it the first time I used it. I just like sprinted through it because I was like, "This is weird. Like I feel like so out of place." So I just like sped walk through the whole thing, and I was like, "I'm never doing that again."
I think like the only time I was there was like there was a campus ministry like event out there, and I was just like chilling out there. I've never walked through it, but I've like just like been there for something. Which it's like only a handful of things that you like would do there. It was like a nice fountain,
yeah,
it was waterfall.
The biggest waste of space I've ever seen in my life.
Great place for meditation. Great.
Oh yeah, as they advertised it, great place for meditation.
But hands down, the best room at Trinity, the best use of space is campus ministry office.
Oh my God, campus ministry was just a place where you could just go and skip classes legitimately. You could go to a teacher, like to a class that you don't like, and be like, "Oh, I have to be at campus ministry in 5 minutes." And they'll be like, "Oh, okay, cool." And then go and then sit on the couch and just spend the entire class there.
That's amazing. There was a couch and a recliner.
Yeah.
And it was so good. And then there was a wall in there, and it was like the 2 campus ministry people who worked there, they would like, that was like their workspace. So they would just like come around the corner and be like, "Oh, when did you guys get here?" And be like,
They'd be like, "Oh, what class do you have right now?" And everyone's like, "Oh, we have study hall."
And they're like,
sure. They're like, "All right, yeah, sure."
I remember, what was it, before basketball games, we always had to wait till like 5. Like practice, we would have to wait till 5. Games, we'd have to wait till 7 or like until we left. So there would be days like where we're just chilling in campus ministry, and we would literally just like take naps in there. It was just blessed.
I've never heard anyone take naps in campus ministry. I've heard people take naps in like the you know that performance art hallway, like with the music room and stuff. Like there's little like booths there, like solo booths that people can like practice and stuff. Like I hear people like just sneak out and like sleep over there.
Oh, I remember there was one day we were like so bored, and I don't know how, but we like ended up in the band room. Well, because Brendan Lanning was there, and like Joe Gallant was cool with him, so we're all like chilling in the band room. And you have this one kid who's playing like guitar or something, and then you have Brendan Lanning starts playing the drums, and there's Jimmy like picks up a triangle and just like starts like playing the triangle. There I am. I find like a bass drum and like where's like it's just like 2 people like actually jamming out, and me and Jimmy being complete idiots on instruments.
I never understood that. The band room was always a mess.
Oh my God, yeah.
Like they didn't care. Like the chairs would be all over the place. Instruments would literally just be scattered around, books, hoodies, all that stuff would just be scattered around. I'm like, what is this?
Yeah. Okay, that side of the school was like amazing.
Oh yeah, that like little hallway was like low key the best.
Oh my God. But we were like scolded for going down there.
Yeah.
I remember there was this one girl, and she was just like, she's like, don't you guys have your own side of the school? And they're like me, Jimmy, and Joe are just like hanging out with our friends. We're like, what's mean? Like we felt so insulted for no reason.
It's like because it's weird. Like it's split. Like there's an athletic side and then like the performance arts side. Their hallway is a lot bigger than ours.
Yeah.
We don't even have like a hallway.
No.
Especially by the guys' locker room.
Exactly.
Jeez.
Yeah, it was like during my year, like my friend group, we were like that rare like blend of like you got your theater kids, you got your athletes, boom, together. Because our school was very like cliquey in terms of like athletes.
100%. It was the clickiest of the clique.
And then everyone just not involved in either.
Yeah, we were so cliquey.
Yeah. But like my one friend group, we were that friend group. But it's like, oh, you guys have everything in your friend group. I'm like, yeah.
How many people did you have in your school?
I think my class was, I want to say like 380.
I want to say I was like maybe around there too.
That was like the general like Holy Trinity class size, like between 3 and 4.
Yeah.
I know
I say we're similar.
Yeah. I was about to say, I think your school is like always like similar to ours in size.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's because we don't have the space. I think we would be a larger school if we weren't like dead center in Queens. We also would have a soccer field. And possibly a football team.
I mean, didn't Trinity like not play soccer at Trinity?
No, we played my senior year we played soccer because my junior year, like at the end of it, they started doing like the new turf field. So when I came back, it was done.
Yeah, when it was grass, it's like no one can ruin it for football.
Yeah, I think it was like that because like football, like the hierarchy of sports for our school was like football in the winter, basketball, or football in the fall, basketball in the winter, and then like lacrosse / like baseball. Lacrosse, it was more like lacrosse, like, I think.
It was always on and off. Like one team's really good, one team's not.
Yeah, and then like all the other sports no one would really care about.
Yeah. Complete opposite at Delphi. It's literally like every woman's sport, phenomenal. Men's sport.
our guys are good though.
No, I was about to say like guys are good, but like sometimes like the basketball team might not do. But the soccer team was really good. I remember my last 2 years. I want to say maybe even more.
Yeah, but definitely our ladies. Our ladies are insane.
It's true.
Oh my god.
But my biggest pet peeve is like our teams are good, but no one comes to watch their games. It's literally just like friends and family of the players. I'm like,
oh, definitely.
How many residents live here and like come and watch your team like crush another school by like 20 points?
Yeah, they hate us.
Yeah.
Yeah, every other school like hates the Delphi. Like LIU, we have like the biggest rivalry with like that whole story with the LIU coach and the Lax team.
What happened there?
But again, same time, Delphi still a school that decided to build their field on a parking garage.
That's
the LIU coach was coming for like a friendly against Lax, women's Lax, and she like went off about the field and how like Matamed was not up to standard and whatever. And I'm like, all right, I get that. There are a couple holes and whatever, but they're not like super crazy holes because you have to remember like Lax is in the spring and there's like God knows how many other sports played before they are, and they use the same field and they went through their entire season.
I think the big problem was with the snow too, like when they would plow the fields and like everything would get the place.
But like all these teams would play like full seasons on this field and no one ran into an issue. But then like the LIU coach just went off and like was like, I'm not having my team play on this. This is stupid. And then basically she got the game rescheduled, and then Adelphi got in trouble by like NCAA and they were like, you need to fix this field now. So that's why we got a new turf field in like such a short amount of time.
It was the men's soccer team was like about to go into like playoffs, and
they were, yeah.
They had to like play a neutral site.
That was a huge problem that they ran into.
Yeah.
I mean, now we got a really nice turf field.
except for the practice field.
Oh my God. I don't know when, but just randomly during my senior year, it just became a big, like, safety hazard practicing there.
Yeah. It was just randomly that year.
There's huge holes in that practice field.
Like literally, I just feel like we practiced one week, and then we came back, and there's all these, like, holes and stuff. So, like, we would be playing, and I'm, like, going around the field with the cones, and I'm like, oh, there's a hole there.
I remember that. See, like, I remember, like, you putting out cones at the beginning of, like, the year, and then, like, slowly but surely, more cones would, like, appear on the field.
And everyone's like, oh, the cone's confusing me. And I was like, the cone's in the middle of the field. What would that mean? And then, like, we would be scrimmaging, and, like, the cones would just be there, and everyone's like, oh, I thought that was out of bounds. Like, it was a cone. I'm like, why?
Yeah, it's, like, in the middle of the field.
I'm trying to save every one of your ankles. Like, no.
When they used to say that for drills, like, what's that cone for? I'm like, it's in Guam.
Yeah, I don't know why people would even mention that. We'd be doing, like, cut drills or something, like an easy, like, toss with, like, a flick drill or something, and, like, the cone that's, like, closest to the opposite end zone, they're like, oh, what's that cone for? And we're like, what?
It's like the drills over here. There's one cone, like, way over here. It's like,
yeah, it's literally in Guam, and they're like, yo, what's that cone all the way in the back for? Like, what?
I'll never forget the like, it was like one of those, like, me or Jordan really, like, could have, like, seriously got injured, maybe even died.
There's one like in the middle of the field that's huge.
This was my sophomore year, I think it was. Me and Jordan were, like, either my sophomore or junior, I forget. But me and Jordan were really, like, standing face to face, no more than 3
I remember this, I think I remember this.
We're standing there, and lacrosse is practicing. And in my 4 years, no one's ever been hit by a lacrosse ball, thank God.
I know where this is going.
So do I.
Yeeted across. Me and Jordan stand 3 feet apart, right in between us. Whoosh. And I'm like, Jordan, did we almost just die? And he was like, yeah. I'm like, I was like, all right, I'm gonna get on the line.
I never understood why, like, because, like, the lacrosse net is, like, it's not on, like, the sideline like a soccer net is. It's more in. So, like, how are you shooting to something that's further away from the wall yet missing, but, like, missing so high that you also miss the tall ass fence that they have there?
Yeah, sometimes you get, like, especially with that field and how hard the turf was because of, like, how little padding was. Like, if you skim a ball, it's skipping far. It's
skipping far.
But even the net is so small.
Yeah.
So they're missing, like, really wide. Like, especially lax, where I'm like, you have to hone your shot so you're accurate. Why are you missing that wide?
I just know I talked back to them, at least this year. I was like, do you guys win any games? Like, because clearly you can't shoot in the net.
Oh, my God. No, our lacrosse team was always good.
Yeah, well, that's like our number one sport.
It's just the fact that, like, lacrosse is a Long Island sport. Like, if we're not good at it, then we're definitely doing something wrong.
Yeah.
Thank God we are. Hell, it's
huge.
Malloy only had girls lacrosse because I think they didn't want to. I don't think they wanted to pay for the insurance for the boys.
True.
That's also why we don't have a club frisbee team, because they've literally tried. They tried this year, and I was like, let the people know that I will, like I'll help run it because they need, like, a faculty member.
Ooh.
And I was like, I'll do it. Like, let me know. And then they said no, and I was like,
Coach
oh, that sucks.
Walls.
Times 2.
Do you go by Coach Walls or Coach John?
They just call me John or Jonathan.
I would say, like, if I had you as coach, I'd be Coach John.
I've had Jonathan. No, it's either Jonathan or Coach. That's it.
See, like, I coach soccer for my little kids, and they only call me, like, Coach or Coach Sebastian.
That's so cute.
Coach Sebastian's such a mouthful. I could never.
It is, especially for, like, a 2-year-old. It's a huge mouthful.
Coach Sebastian.
Pretty much.
Do any of them call you Sebastian?
No one calls me Sebastian, thank God. I don't know what I'd do. So if a little kid came up to me and was like, Coach Sebastian, I'd be like, go run a lap.
When I coached basketball camp, everyone just like, this one kid always called me coach, and I'm like, you realize like, oh, I only coach you for like an hour. You just call me Tom. Because with basketball camp, you would have your team, but you would do like stations throughout the day. You do a drill, and then like at the end of the day, you would play games. So like I was technically the coach, and literally all I did was just like make sure they played basketball the right way. Made sure everyone was playing to the fullest of potential, teaching the youth. But they were like, Coach, and I'm like, just call me Tom. Like I don't like it. I don't think I could ever go by coach if I was an actual coach.
Yeah, it's definitely weird.
I mean, like, I feel like that's something shared among like professional coaches. I mean, like if you look at the NBA, like Pop is like the one that comes to mind. Like the coach for the Spurs is literally referred to as Coach Pop or just Pop.
It's like you go to him, hey, Coach Greg Popovich. And he's like, no, you're getting traded, man.
Traded.
No way you just called me my whole name. Yeah.
Well, this could be a great segue for one of my topics. I was doing some research and I noticed that Bundesliga came back 2 weeks ago officially?
2 or 3.
And like Bundesliga is like the professional German soccer league. So like they opened up and they held like actual games, and I noticed that like stadiums are going to be empty for God knows how long, and they social distance the subs, which I thought was really cool. How like they set up all like those really fancy chairs, and like the players were just like 6 feet apart.
The first game I was watching, I think Lewandowski scored a penalty. He's just like, everyone's just like around on there, it's like air high fiving each other.
So my question is, do you guys think that no fans in stadiums is going to be like the new future for us?
I mean, for the rest of the year, definitely.
I can definitely see it towards the end of the year.
Yeah, I agree with that.
At the same time, I know I think they've been talking about it for a while. Like, you can even do like VR stuff with that.
That's what I was thinking.
You can like set up like a bunch of those cameras in like different seats, and like you can just like join like a room and just get a random like view from the like watch the game court side. But I think that'd be pretty dope if they like found a way to do that.
I feel like with this whole pandemic that's going on, we're going to see more of a switch towards like the digital aspect of things, where more things are going to be on your screen, or like you said, like VR type stuff. So I kind of think this might be like the death of people going to like stadiums and stuff.
Like even right now, on like just in the background, it's like I think it's like the 2012 Eastern Conference Finals, and you see everyone in the stands, and it's like, wow, that's not going to happen at all this playoffs.
It's not. It's really not.
Was it? So I think in the like going forward, like in the future, once like the pandemic's over, I feel like there's going to be a mix of both, because they're going to see like, oh, we can make money, like say for VR, but there's still going to be those fans that like, I want to see the game in person.
Well, I know the Miami Dolphins, like when this first started, they have a brand new stadium. I don't know how much it seats, but they were talking about like if social distancing is still a thing when the NFL season starts up, which it definitely still will be. They were talking about a plan to make it so like I think it's like 16,000 people can still go to the game. So like, yeah, I would just find it like, maybe like one row, it's like every other seat, then like skip 2 rows and then like another. I don't know how they do it, but
if they were to do that, prices I feel like are going to be through the roof.
That's the thing. It's like it's that whole question of like, do prices rise because of limited quantity, or do prices like drop because of people not wanting to go? Like, yeah, you have those diehard fans that are always going to want to go to these games. But at the same time, if I'm taking my son to a baseball game, do I really want to take him to a baseball game now during quarantine, or does I want to be, let's just wait till next year?
Yeah, exactly. Rather wait.
Which soccer, like I've been watching some of the Bundesliga. I've been even watching because I wake up early for work, and when I get to work, they have the Korean Baseball League on. So I'm used to seeing these meaningless games, almost meaningless, being played with no fans. But I'm gonna be interested to see when if hockey comes back and NBA comes back, which I think NBA they're talking about tomorrow.
I think so. Yeah, they're gonna
finalize tomorrow.
Resume where in Orlando?
Yeah, which makes total sense. NBA has contracted with ABC. ABC's Disney. ESPN's Disney. So the Disney Empire taking over again. But
they honestly are.
Yeah, scary. Yep. So it makes sense that they do have it in Orlando. But it's going to be weird seeing these intense games, these high stakes games being played with no fans.
With no fans. It was similar to the UFC fight that happened I think it was a month ago now at this point, where it was a really, really nice card of fighters that were playing or that were fighting, and you would watch the fight and it'd literally just be very, very, I don't want to say motionless, but each hit felt a lot harder because you could hear each hit more. And then when they would celebrate, it was really awkward because they're celebrating with no one. And the whole environment and the vibe was completely different.
You saw McGregor when he would climb the fences.
Exactly. Wow. And then now you try and do that, it's just well, what are you doing?
Yeah. I mean, even with what's it called? The Korean Baseball League, they have cheerleaders in the stands. I don't know why, but they really have cheerleaders dancing on top of the dugouts. I'm I guess this is for the camera.
Yeah,
I guess they're still trying to put on a show.
Exactly. It was funny because today, the game we had on at work, or the game that was on, I should say, they literally put a bunch of stuffed animals behind the home plate. So literally, every time they zoom in on the battery, you see a stuffed SpongeBob sitting next to a stuffed Mickey Mouse.
That's adorable.
It was just so quality. I'm wow, good for them. Yeah, but I think it's definitely going to be interesting to see these high-stake games.
Yeah, I can't picture an NBA Finals just with no one there.
Even this game, it's Game 7, Celtics versus Heat, and everyone's wearing the white shirts in the crowd. It's the white out. And you have, literally every player, everyone's on their feet cheering. And you're going to see, imagine LeBron James at the buzzer beater to win the finals, Game 7. And
and you hear no big roar from the crowd. It's gonna be definitely something we've never seen before.
Yeah. It's gonna be depressing for the athletes.
Yeah, I remember when this first happened. LeBron James was I'm not gonna play any games without fans. No fans, no me. And now it's gotten to the point where he's all right, we all want to play again.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't think anyone expected it to be what it is.
Yeah.
But now people are okay.
At this point, at the way it is right now, I don't see baseball being played this year.
Not at all.
Because at this point, the more they wait, the further into winter they're going. Are you really going to go to a playoff baseball game for the Yankees or Mets if it's
snowing
30 degrees?
Yeah.
I could see it being played without fans, actually, because the players are all spaced apart.
Yeah.
That might be the only sport that could really be played.
That's why I thought it it would be back, but now it's just contract disputes.
It's contracts, yeah.
Because these players don't want to even though they're playing less than half the season, they still won't get paid full money for the full season.
So they're all arguing?
Yeah. And then I think the latest proposal was just denied by the MLB, where it was the players wanted to do 144 games or 122, somewhere around there.
Mm-hmm.
But a normal season's 162, so it's just it's all right, now you're restretching into October, November maybe. Which, at the same time, if people have a choice of watching a baseball game on TV or a football game on TV in the dead of winter, pretty sure they pick football.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because no one likes baseball anymore.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that no one likes baseball. It's just that no one likes watching long games. We're talking like baseball, it takes at least like 2.5 hours.
I would, I'm a big baseball guy. I would either go to the games, and if I didn't go to the games, I still have the updates on my phone. I wouldn't really watch them unless if I was like studying or doing homework, I'd have it on background noise. And then like if I know it's like a close game, I'll flip it on and be like, all right, let's watch this.
All right.
I always found I got so much interested in baseball, like so much more interested in the games when I wasn't able to watch them. Like, we went to Jamaica this past summer, and the Mets were playing, and I was on the plane, and I couldn't watch it, but I was like, I want to watch it, like so bad. And then literally, I'm like on my phone, like as the plane like lands, like looking like updates, and I'm just like, why am I so interested in it now? Am I that bored? Meanwhile, I guarantee if I was just home, I wouldn't have been watching that game.
I guess it's the sense of having like that cutoff.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, I missed having it and not using it, but now I don't have it.
Yeah.
And I really want to use it.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's definitely like, then that goes to like, I guess, show like you gotta like appreciate what you have and like do what you can. Because one day it might not be there.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, but at this point, I don't see baseball happening.
Yeah, if there weren't like the disputes that you guys are talking about, I think it could have been like the only sport played.
It makes sense that it's the only sport that should work.
That and golf.
Well, yeah, golf is just like everyone gets their own golf cart. They did that like Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Tiger Woods, Phil Mickelson thing.
Right.
Yeah,
They each had their own golf cart. No one was on site really. Even I have a patient. She said I forget the fighter's name, but she's like close friends with this UFC fighter, and he's saying that he loves this whole like no fans thing because he can hear his coach more. So he's like on his like big hot streak now, and like he wants to fight like literally like every other month now because he wants to take advantage of this while he can.
Smart.
And even with the baseball, they were talking about players wearing microphones so they can get a closer interaction with the fans.
They mentioned that for NFL people too. For NFL players.
Like, they're gonna have to censor themselves. I'm sure all of them are just like saying obscene things to each other.
They need to have it on like a 5-second, 10-second delay.
Yeah.
They gotta have so one person on every mic. Did he just curse? Cut that. What'd he say?
Mute mic 9.
I feel like at that point you would just assign someone, right? Like the easiest job. It's just them in the studio with a giant red button. And it's like anytime they hear a curse, just beep.
9 red buttons.
Beep, 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 beep.
Just all the players at once, hey guys, all at once, we're just gonna like constantly curse. They're gonna have dead air and they're not gonna know what to do.
That would be interesting.
They're just gonna commentate over it.
I mean, they did that in spring training with the players on the microphones. It was pretty funny because they were just like joking around and like
they were joking around, yeah.
You have a guy just standing in left field, getting no action. He's like, "Yeah, it's pretty boring out here. Like, no one's hitting it to me." And like the one time they'll hit something, like, "Oh God!"
Yeah.
That's how I feel like I would be if I was like a baseball player.
Oh, I would 100% like right. I used to play right outfield, and it would get times where it would just be really boring. You just look around and just like, all right, this is my home for God knows how long.
I would have some of my friends who would just like come to the park randomly to watch. Like I'd be in left field and they'd be talking to me. I put my glove over my mouth so my coach doesn't see me talking to them, but I'm talking to them. And they're like, think something's gonna hit you? I'm like, probably not.
Probably not.
Chilling here. It was the worst when something actually got hit to you because you're like not ready for it. Oh God, what do I do again? How do I play the sport?
My last year playing, I was, I think, center field. I don't think I caught a pop-up at all.
I think baseball, out of all the sports I played, I love baseball the most, but I don't like playing it the most. I don't know. It's just, like, I would say it's probably my second favorite sport, I would say hockey. Like in terms of watching, like I love hockey's always gonna be my favorite. I can always watch hockey no matter if it's at the game on TV, if it's my team or not. Baseball is a close second to in terms of like I'll just have it on all the time. And then but I never really I like playing baseball, but I never really loved it.
Mm-hmm.
It was more of me just playing the sport because I love the sport.
I feel
like I'm the opposite. I like playing sports rather than watching sports.
That's how I feel with Frisbee. I can't watch.
I guess I'm the same, but like that's just me.
I feel like it's I don't know if it's because I'm just like, yeah, I'll never be able to do any of that these guys are doing this casual. Like I have to try like you see someone casually just like huck a 60-yard throw. And there's me, like, I have to try so hard to get it more than 25 yards.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's like, I never got interested in it, no. Baseball, I love watching. Hockey, I love watching. Football, I love watching. Basketball, I think I'd rather play than watch. Just because I'd playoff basketball, I would always love to watch. That actually, that thought came to my head, yesterday. It was like, because I've been working, early hours. And I was like, if this whole, quarantine thing, if my park was never closed down, I get out of work at, 2 o'clock the latest. I would be playing so much basketball. I'm sure it's the same thing with, Frisbee. We would probably be playing a lot if, we never had, big social distance in New York.
Yeah.
Because I know parks are open in Florida. Because there's this YouTuber I watch. He plays basketball, and he's been down in Florida playing pickups.
I know it's weird here because it's people say parks are closed, but then you drive past Eisenhower or something, and you see people playing and stuff, and cops don't really care. So it's I guess officially, unofficially, parks are open.
Yeah.
As long as you don't congregate with masses of people, you're fine.
Yeah. I mean, I live right around the corner from a park, and it's all gated. You can walk in the parking lot. You can walk through the park. You can't play handball. You can't do basketball. You can't do anything on the swing sets or anything like that. They actually installed a gate to keep people off the basketball courts because people would they would have it taped up. People would just crawl under it or climb over it.
Yeah.
They actually had to get these 2 10-foot gates and lock it up. It was funny because I can see the park from my house, and I heard the ball dribble. I'm like, did someone get in? And it was this group of kids got in. They were probably playing for 5 minutes, and this guy just comes on. He's like, "Really, guys? You realize the gate's closed for a reason, right?" And the funniest thing is that there's a school probably a 5-minute walk from my house that has basketball hoops that are not gated up, nothing. Just wide open basketball hoops. You can easily go there and play.
Interesting. Yeah, why wouldn't they go there?
I don't know. People aren't the smartest nowadays, John.
That's true. They gated off. There's a little workout section at a track near me. And they gated it off, and then I drove past there, I'm going to say 3 days ago. And not only was that whole fence down, but there were 3 blocks of cars parked, which had just been empty since it's closed. So there were so many cars, and then I look at the track, and there's it's normal summer, nothing's going on, and I was like, people do not care at all anymore.
No, they don't.
The joke's going around that it's once it got warm on Long Island and Corona was canceled, and it's so true that the second it got up to 78, 80s, it's people are out and about, they don't care anymore.
This past weekend, the amount of Snapchats I see of people at the beach.
I mean, I am one of those that went to the beach, but it's I feel like I'm okay because it's it's an open area, so there's a lot of air ventilation or whatever, and B,
a lot of space to social distance.
Yes, there's people actually obey social distancing the most at beaches. I feel you walk on there and it's person over here, person 10 feet that way. It's really spaced out. No one's really on top of each other. And they even social distance the parking lot. So like every other spot has a cone. So you can't like park right next to someone.
That's dope. I
feel like not like that.
They're still like
I would go to the beach just to go to the beach. Like I don't go in the ocean or anything. It's just go to the beach to.
Yeah, I usually don't either. I just go like either like toss a disc or like watch the sunset or just walk.
Wow, romantic.
I know.
What was it? I've seen snaps of like people around campfires in Rockaway, and there's like 8 people around in a circle, and I'm like, you guys are gonna get it. Like, yeah, no one in Queens. It's not like social distancing's like almost not a thing.
I was joking around with my patients. Like, oh, how's your weekend? I'm like, oh, it's fine. I had family over, and like, they're like, yeah, family over. I'm like, no, less than 10. We're good. Don't worry. But and then like there was one week where we had like I want to say like 15 family members over. And I'm like, don't tell anyone. It was over 10. And they're like, oh, I got to report you. I'm like, gotta do what you gotta do.
Guys, I'm like 4 sips in. Still a decent amount left.
So the Jon-sip counter is false.
What do you mean?
You said
at the beginning it was 4 Jon-sips that you could down.
Right. Okay. Well, it's more than that. I've had some food and some water.
It's so plus minus 3 leeway.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. I'm on 5 right now, and there's still a decent amount left.
All right. Fair.
6.
You've lied to us, but you know, we're gonna forgive you this one time.
I appreciate it.
It's really interesting to see that like one of the biggest things that were affected by the pandemic was like entertainment, like movies, for example.
Oh my God. We were playing, my family, we were playing 5-second rule. And if you don't know, it's like you get a 5-second timer and you have to read off a card, and it's like name 3 blanks. And it's like you can name like 3 actors with the name John, 3 actors with the name. So my sister pulled a card and she's like, we can't do this one. We're like, what? And it was name 3 movies in theater.
Oh.
And I was like, yeah, that's like not allowed.
I find it really interesting that we're kind of like going backwards, where like the rise of drive-in movie theaters are like slowly going up.
Drive-in movies are great.
Yeah. I feel like you need to have the right car for it.
Oh yeah, I don't know if I would use my car.
Yeah, you're gonna see it as every drive-in theater with like your Honda Civic, and it's just like everyone in their like Jeep Wranglers and pickup trucks.
Yeah.
And here's John's like, I didn't get the memo.
It's weird. Apparently, like, I mean, for people that go to the one in like Broadway Mall in Hicksville, like you have to stay in your car. You can't like open your windows. You can't get out. Yeah. So it's like you can't like people that get pickup trucks that like literally go to watch a drive-in movie to like sit in their beds like can't do that. And I'm like, that's the whole point. So for a lot of them is to have that aesthetic.
So I'm supposed to just like leave. Am I supposed to leave my car running like the entire time with my air conditioner on and just like waste gas for 2 hours?
That's another thing.
And then if I don't, I'm just like suffocating in my car.
Right. Yeah. Because then, like I know too, isn't it like you either have the speaker or the radio station?
I think you like. I know for some of it's like you.
I think it's a speaker.
It's either a speaker or you tune your radio to like a certain broadcast.
Okay. Because I want to go.
I definitely want to go. Yeah, I feel like that'd be really cool.
I need a good movie.
We can take the podcast on the go.
Oh my God!
Podcast on the go to watch it.
We could all go and we could just like
movie voice
commentation on it, like live tweet, but video.
So in this part of the movie, he snapped. I'm not gonna name what movie for spoiler alert, but you know,
it's really interesting to see how much like movie production has been affected by this. John, this is probably like in your realm, so I'm interested to hear what you have to say, because like a lot of movies have been put on like hold. A lot of movies
TV
are being
shows.
like pushed back. TV shows are another one. So I wonder, like, do you have an idea of how you can maybe like film a movie with social distancing and stuff, or no?
Dude, I have no idea. I don't think it's physically possible. I was amazed, like, so I was in an acting class this semester, and we had to act over Zoom. And it's like, you can do it, but it's not amazing, and you don't get really anything out of it.
That's so awkward.
Yeah, I mean, you'd think it would be more comfortable because we're like all in our own rooms, in our own settings, but it was like more awkward because like we'd get, like, when we were in class, we'd like get in the zone, and like we couldn't get in that zone because we were too relaxed.
I feel you.
Yeah, and then like my professor, like, she was so nice, and she was like you can do so much more, like, not like a mean way, in like an encouraging way. And then she left our breakout room, and one of the acting majors like, dude, don't worry about it. He's like, you're doing fine. He's like, this is hard for us, this is like impossible even for like acting majors. Like, don't worry about it. And I was like, yes, didn't do a bad job.
What was it? The theater professor was so hard on Chang. It's because he cares about you.
Seb, have you seen Community?
I've not. I've heard nothing but good things about it, though.
Definitely. All right, watch it.
Yeah, watch it. It's so good.
Okay.
It is my favorite show. I watched it twice in a month because I overlapped watching it with my mom.
Same. But I watched it twice, like once and then twice.
I just wrapped up Defending Jacob on Apple TV. Chris Evans' new like TV show, and gotta say, Chris Evans outside of the Captain America role, I think he's like fantastic. We don't give him enough credit.
That's how I felt with Extraction, with Hemsworth.
I saw Extraction. Extraction was good.
So good.
So good. No, wait.
It's such a serious movie, but that one part where he's just slapping around the kids, crying.
When he just like bitch slapped the kid, I was dying.
The kid just points an AK at him. He's like, no. Like, stop.
Do you guys think he died at the end, or was that him at the end?
I was going to ask you that. Tom and I have talked about this.
I think he's dead. He's 100% dead.
I think he's alive.
See, listen.
I think it's a ghost.
Be upset.
I
think it's a ghost.
Like how he was like having his like visions of his son or daughter. I forget what it was, but I think it's that. And I think
like, if you look at it from like a realistic point of view, like he was shot God knows how many times, and then he took one to what, like the face or the neck, and then he proceeds to fall off of a huge bridge into an ocean.
A 30-foot bridge.
Foot drop. He's in full gear. Like he's shot, and he's not gonna get up in time. He's gonna drown, or he's gonna bleed out, or he's gonna die from the infection from the water. There's zero chance that he survived. I'm sorry.
This man did jump off a 75-foot cliff in like the first scene of the movie and stay underwater for like a good minute.
That's different though, because it's like you can like mentally and physically prepare for something like that, but you have to have like the correct form. You have to jump in a certain way. This man literally just fell back.
I don't know.
Just back first into a 30-foot cliff.
A lot of time stumbling around with that neck wound to get mentally prepared, in my opinion.
I don't think any training can mentally prepare you for that scenario at all.
But for real, like, it left you on such like a there's so many possibilities for the next movie, but you have no idea what's gonna happen.
Yeah, because didn't they confirm that there's a sequel coming?
Yeah,
but it's like a different like storyline, I think.
Which is like,
I've been told.
It's a different, like, who knows? Maybe they'll go like prequel to like what Chris Hemsworth did before that. Yeah. Like another mission he did before. Maybe it's like, because the drug cartel is like still at a high. He still has that like group that he worked for, and that's still at a high. You still have this kid. So honestly, like, who knows what could happen with that? You can never doubt the Russos.
Never doubt them.
I mean, that was one of the only movies that like they produced, right? Like Russos are known for directing. Like this is something that they produced, and I think they wrote it, right?
Yeah.
I could be wrong.
Yeah, I think so. They what did they do? They did 21 Bridges with Chadwick Boseman.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, I remember that they produced that as well.
And you know what's funny though? I didn't hear like anything about that movie.
Neither did I. I remember like the trailers coming out and like just.
I think it was on good. My Netflix like top 10, and I was like, oh, Chris Hemsworth can't be that bad.
The reason that like enticed me is because they showed, like, because I follow Hemsworth and the Russos on Instagram, and they kept showing one scene of like the car chase with the cameraman strapped to the car.
Yeah, I was gonna mention that.
I literally texted John right after that. The one like
something ridiculous. Like it was insane.
5-minute nonstop scene.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
That's not. I literally texted John right after. I'm like, you need to watch this movie.
Yeah, and I like had planned on it, but I was like, I think I was like in a Community high, and I was like, I have to watch Community.
And I gave you the push.
I feel like if you master the one shot like scenes, it comes out like the payoff is incredible. You look at a movie like 1917, which like a majority of that was like literally just one take. Like that came out like stellar.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you can land it, it's really good. It's super hard though, because you have to get everything. Hard. You have to hit every mark perfectly.
Exactly, with all he was doing too.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like all the choreography for the fighting he had to do blew my mind.
Very specific.
And very high stakes, because if you mess up, you got to start from square one. And like, I can feel like if you keep having to start over and over, like morale is gonna go low, and then like that.
I feel like you have like a certain number of times to try it. It's like, all right, we have 10 tries, guys. If not, we're gonna do several cuts.
Yeah, but I feel like those things. I think I watched a video on it explaining it on YouTube, and they were talking about how it like that one scene took like 3 months to film or something. And I'm like, that's like I was literally blown away. I was like, Jesus.
Not surprised.
To work 3 months on one scene is crazy.
Yeah. And like everything's like, especially now, like everything is gonna be so delayed, like we were saying before. But it's like the only thing I feel like that can be done is post-production editing and pre-production. Like you can't do anything else.
Animation. Disney's over here like, all right.
You say that, but I mean like Disney took a huge hit with this whole pandemic too. I mean, like they had to close their entire parks and stuff. Yeah. So they're losing God knows how much money.
Yeah.
Just from parks alone.
But the animation.
Anything that's like animation, cartoon, CG, like they'll be fine in my opinion.
They'll be fine, yeah.
If anything, they're gonna flourish.
The only thing they like
I can see like a rise in animation movies.
Yeah, I agree. The only thing like I think they'd really need to do is just send equipment to like the voice actors' houses so they can record at home.
Yeah, which shouldn't be that hard.
Yeah, and we're kind of like getting to a point where like you can have one person come in the studio.
Yeah.
But I know like a lot of animation, like they'll have, if there's a scene with like everybody, they'll have like everybody in the room to kind of get like more chemistry. It's like they can't do that anymore.
My big thing I keep remembering is Stranger Things.
Oh yeah, it's still coming out.
I don't know. I think they got halted.
Yeah, everything probably got halted. All production and stuff.
And the thing with them is they're probably like 2 episodes away from finishing.
This kind of sucks.
Because I know Stranger Things, like it always comes out like they always aim for like July 4th. I think is like the start. And
it was supposed to come out April 3rd.
Really?
Of this year?
Yeah.
I thought it only comes out in July.
Says the number is the same as that of the room in the hospital where Nancy visited Mrs. Driscoll. Oh, no, never mind. I'm sorry. It's a theory of when it's supposed to come out.
Liar. No, definitely with Stranger Things, it's I think the way they do it is like they don't the season will be re-released and they won't start filming until like October.
Yeah, they usually release the season depending on the theme of the season. So like This season was very much like summer and 4th of July, so they released it during the week of 4th of
I
July.
think season 2 they did it right.
Halloween.
Yeah.
Like Halloween was like the huge thing. And I don't remember the first season. So like they usually do it around that time.
Yeah. I think I started just before season 2 came out with that.
I just saw a thing. It was supposed to come out early 2021, but now it's looking like to come out spring 2021.
Yeah.
Okay. Not too bad.
Do you guys see Black Widow actually coming out in November?
I honestly, at this point, it's like it's up to the movie theaters and like if people are willing to go to movies after this. Because like for me, it's like I probably really don't want to go to a movie theater if I can just watch that movie via digital at my house. I think it's far better.
Yeah, I'm only like a Marvel like movie goer. Like I'll only go to the movie theaters for a Marvel movie. Very rarely do I like find another movie unless it was just like going with friends or whatever. It's like I don't go to the movies.
This segues perfectly into mine. Have you guys seen the trailer for The King of Staten Island?
Oh, the Pete Davidson movie?
I saw it. I'm not interested.
I'm so excited. I think it's going to be so funny.
I feel like you're really excited because it was filmed basically in like your backyard almost.
No, because I'm not a huge fan of Staten Island. But
I feel like most of it could have branched out into Queens and stuff. Most of the filming probably was done around the boroughs.
Probably, honestly, yeah. I also love Pete Davidson, so anything he's in, I'm excited for.
Fair.
I'm excited for what were you gonna say, Tom?
I'm the same with Will Ferrell. Anything Will Ferrell, I'm like, let's go.
He has a new movie coming out, no? I feel like he has a new movie. I forgot what it's called. I saw like the trailer of it. And I'm like, I think it's coming out on Netflix.
Oh, that kind of segues into a discussion we were having at work. I watched a movie. I wasn't really a big fan of it. I don't know why, but one of my bosses, he's like, I loved it. Have any of you seen Uncut Gems?
Yeah,
I've not, but I've heard that it was like good.
See, I'll try not to spoil it for you, but I really wasn't a big fan of it. And no, it was not because Adam Sandler was not like, it's not a funny movie. It's like more of a serious take. I just wasn't understanding the storyline as much. It really didn't make sense to me. But my boss loved it. He was like, I loved it. Adam Sandler in a serious movie was such an interesting dynamic. It was, I'm like, I guess I just really wasn't diving in deep to it. I don't really dive too much deep into film. But I guess he like saw it from a completely different standpoint I saw it from. And I was like, all right, whatever.
Personally, as a movie, I think it was really good. But out of like personal enjoyment, and like Seb, don't like take my word for it or anything, but like it was good, like from like enjoyment wise. But like I enjoyed like what was it? Kendrick Lamar's in it. He was amazing in it.
Yeah.
Adam Sandler was really good.
Kevin Garnett was in it.
Yeah, Kevin Garnett was in it, and he was actually really good. I was very
almost the main character.
Yeah. But yeah, Seb, it's on Netflix.
I know. I want to get on it. I was finishing a lot of shows on Netflix right now.
It was in my top 10 for probably like a week or so, and like I'm at the point where I have nothing to watch on Netflix just because I don't want to start anything on Netflix.
Oh, there's so many good things you can start on Netflix.
I just discovered any of you seen The 100? The 100?
Yes.
No, I want to.
I just realized that the new season's like out now. So I like downloaded the CW app on my Xbox. I actually just watched the first episode of season 7 tonight. I love it. It's a show that it's a weird show. It's a weird show, and it's a show that if I didn't watch, like I think I first started watching it like season 4 was out. If I started watching it now, I probably would not be interested in it because I feel like it's too long. I don't know. I get that way with Netflix shows. I feel like the sooner, like the more seasons there are, the more intimidated I am to start it.
Yeah, me too. That's why I like watched Daybreak and Outer Banks within the time span of 3 days.
Yeah.
Was that show good?
Which one?
Outer Banks?
Outer Banks is amazing.
I enjoyed it.
I'm obsessed with it. I watched it all in a day.
I had one page.
I'm like deep in Peaky Blinders right now, which I highly recommend to everyone.
That
very,
might be my next
very
one.
good. Cillian Murphy from Batman Begins, I think, is the main character. Tom Hardy's in it. Littlefinger from Game of Thrones is in it. Like, honestly, it's a stacked cast and it's very well written.
Okay.
You
sold me.
Yeah, no, I'll take a look at it once I finish the 100. I don't know if it's the 100 or the 100. I don't know.
I think it's the 100.
Yeah, sounds more right.
I think it's the 100.
Yeah. Very good show, John. You should get on that. I think you would enjoy it.
I feel
like you like the CW network stuff.
I used to, and then because I only watch like the superhero stuff.
Yeah.
Arrow sucked until like the last season. It was good,
Mm-hmm.
season 1, 2, and then was just terrible up until season 8.
Mm-hmm.
Because the whole season 8 was building up to the huge crossover.
Oh yeah.
The Flash like wasn't good for like 2 seasons. Season 5 was okay. I heard season 6 was like pretty good again. The first half was good. I haven't finished it. Legends I love because it's just fun. Black Lightning's okay, but a lot of them just frustrate me.
I think that's my biggest like when I'm happy, like one of the shows I'm happy is I didn't start on Netflix with like The Flash and Arrow, because my friend was telling me, he was like, oh, you need to watch like the first 2 seasons of Arrow, then the first 2 seasons of The Flash, and then see them alternate every. I'm like, no, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, you really like some of it, like for like the first season of The Flash, you kind of want to alternate, but then after that, it doesn't really matter. Like they just don't care anymore. The only thing you like really need to keep up with is like the seasons. Like you can't watch a full season because there's always a crossover, and then they always reference it, and you have no idea what they're talking about.
Horrible show to Netflix.
Yeah.
I watched Arrow up until the point where like I think it was like there was like this huge like cliffhanger that happened, and then like you start the next season, and then like they don't explain anything that happened to the cliffhanger. They don't answer any questions, and like you have to go and like I think it was like you have to go read a comic book or something to get like that space filled in.
Too much work for me.
Which season do you remember?
It was the one where they were on the island and like they were about to escape, and you don't know if they escaped, and then like they do this huge time jump in the beginning. I think it was maybe like season 4 or 5.
No,
I don't
yeah,
remember.
it was between 5 and 6. Wait, there was a comic that explained it?
Yeah, because like it just was like this huge gap of time where it's like the island scenario happens, and then like it's them talking about something else, and then you're like, well, what just happened? How do you guys even get back here? Like,
yeah, I know.
Apparently, there's like a comic or something.
I didn't know that. That was so frustrating to me. I'm like, that just happened, and they didn't explain it until like 5 or 6 episodes in.
Yep.
That's so frustrating. That's so stupid. Like,
yeah, I'm not a fan of time jumps.
Yeah, me
in shows or movies. I feel like they don't really like. Maybe if you use it in a specific time, it works, but like for a majority of the time, it doesn't. Like Game of Thrones, the last season, they did that 3-month time jump, and I was like, that was the dumbest thing of all time.
After hearing the Game of Thrones finale, I'm so glad I never got into it. I feel like I heard it was so bad.
Honestly, if you can get into it, you can get into it. Watch like seasons 1 through 6, and then don't watch 7 and 8, and you'll
don't
be
even
fine.
bother.
Don't even bother. Like, because 1 through 6 was quality. Like that was very well directed, well written, well acted, like TV. And then like 7 and 8, you're just like, where did it go wrong?
The one show I miss, and I will forever like hate the fact that they ruined it, was The Walking Dead.
Yes.
I love The Walking Dead, and then they just murdered it.
After the season that Negan got introduced, I kind of was like, all right, that's it. I'm done. I don't think I can keep watching.
Like once Negan got introduced, like things got then like it just like you could have ended the show there perfectly fine. No one would have complained.
I don't think anything has matched like the hype for when The Walking Dead came back after that season finale where like Negan was introduced and like you don't find out who was killed. It was almost like the snap in Infinity War, like that whole year period where everyone's like, well, what happened? Who actually died? Are they dead? And stuff like that. Like I feel like that was like the pinnacle of Walking Dead, and then after that it kind of just did this like steady like free fall.
Have I told you guys my Walking Dead story?
No.
I think I would remember.
So it was my freshman year of high school, and 2 characters died in an episode.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just trying to make conversation with my friend Vanessa in music class, and I was just like, hey, like, do you watch The Walking Dead? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, well, how do you feel about so-and-so dying? And my friend Julian, who's sitting on my left, is just like, he's like, I didn't see it yet.
That's why I had to make sure I watched it every Sunday, like in high school.
Yeah.
It got worse because then I was like, oh, I'm sorry. I was like, well, if it makes you feel better, like Herschel died too. Like I was trying to be sarcastic. And then I look over at my friend Vanessa, and she just has this look of horror on her face. And I was like, don't tell me that's a real character on the show.
Oh my
and
God.
She's like, uh-huh. And I was like, he didn't die too, did he? And she's like, uh-huh. And I was like, you can't make that up.
It's really funny. My favorite Walking Dead memory that involves school is that Tom, you probably remember Mr. E, the religion teacher.
Yeah.
So like he was like an avid Walking Dead fan, and he had a class. I had a class with him, and it was during like the season, like I think it was when Negan was like in power or whatever, and it's whatever season Daryl gets like captured and tortured.
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
you guys will remember that.
Yeah.
And like he was put in that cell, and that song would keep playing, and it's like Run Street or whatever.
Yes.
I think it was called or something like that. And like I remember watching that episode and having that song just drilled in my head, right? And then the next day, it's Monday morning, like 8 a.m. I walk into Mr. E's class. He looks at me, smiles, runs to his computer, and starts blasting that song. I get triggered. I'm like, I can't deal with this right now. And like all the other people are like, what are you doing right now? And I'm like, I'm just in the corner, just like shaking out of pure, like, just, nah, this is uncomfortable.
Oh my God. I just remember like going to homeroom every like Monday, and like we would have like full on discussions about it.
Oh, he was one of those like a good teacher. He was really good. Like he was strict, but like also like fun at times.
Yeah, definitely.
His classes were enjoyable.
I would say my like most recommended show ever, like probably my favorite show, like hands down, is Money Heist.
Oh my God, Money Heist.
Oh,
what a great show.
John,
show.
You didn't watch that, right?
I have not.
I feel like low key you would have started watching it because literally like every show you've been watching, you're like, oh, have you seen this? And I'm like, yeah. And you're like, oh, well, I'm watching it now. Like literally,
I'm really late with Netflix because I stopped watching shows.
It'd just be randomly like, oh, have you ever watched Outer Banks? I'm like, yeah. And you're like, oh, well, I'm watching it. I like it. I'm like, cool. Then like Daybreak, you're like, have you watched Daybreak? I'm like, yeah.
Okay.
Money Heist is at what, like 4 seasons right now or something like that?
Is it really?
Honestly, it's really, really good. I don't know about you, Tom, but I watch it in Spanish, like the way that it's supposed to be, and I find it's far more better than in English.
All right, let me just go learn Spanish real quick.
Just watch it in Spanish with subtitles.
No.
It's so much better. I find it's like watching it in the original like language is just a lot better. It makes it so much better.
So good.
It's very good. Highly recommended, John.
Okay.
I literally got so
wrote
mad.
Down both on my whiteboard.
I got so mad at a patient because she came and she's like, I started watching Money Heist. I watched the first episode. I wasn't a big fan. I'm like, you what? Mike, you gotta give it at least 3.
Honestly, it's a very good like heist TV show where it's like it's very action packed, but then they also take time to do like background
character develop,
exactly, character development. So like it's equally balanced in my opinion.
It's literally perfect directing.
Yes, it's the opposite of what is it, 8 Underground or 9 Underground, whatever the Ryan Reynolds movie, 6 Underground. Like it's the complete opposite of that. That movie was just
7, 5 Underground, 4 Underground,
6 Underground, right?
6, yeah.
It's literally, it's like, let's get Michael Bay a blank check to make a movie, an action movie, and that's what he made.
Did you not? I watched a movie, and literally after the first scene, I paused it. I'm like, please don't tell me. And I like a director as Michael Bay, and you can just tell.
You can tell easily. You can easily tell that it's like, oh, it's a Michael Bay movie.
Like they should have like a game. It's like, watch 5 seconds of this movie and tell me if it's a Michael Bay movie.
I think Seb froze.
It's literally like, did you watch that one, John?
Yeah, I didn't think it was terrible, but it wasn't my favorite.
It was good action, just
bad story.
Not really
bad
nothing,
story.
like nothing to it.
Really bad story.
Yeah.
Like I love the scene when they go into the hotel to steal the prime minister's brother, whoever it was.
Mm-hmm.
And then anything with the free running guy, that was insane.
Yeah, that was cool.
I like the magnet scene on the ship or whatever when he accidentally everyone with like metal just went flying back. Like I thought that was clever. Like that was cool.
Yeah, but story-wise, it wasn't great.
Story-wise, It was like, why? And apparently they're doing a crossover, Tom. I don't know if you saw that, but it's 6 Underground and Money Heist are doing a crossover.
How's that going to work?
I have no idea how it's going to work.
All right, let's see what we have here.
So,
what is it? Another movie I just watched on Netflix, Triple Frontier.
Oh, yes, with Ben Affleck and very good movie.
I read Channing Tatum and Tom Hardy were supposed to be in it.
That kind of makes me sad because that would have been cool.
I don't know. I don't feel like they would fit the role. I feel like they casted like a solid cast.
It would have still been Ben Affleck and like I don't know who replaced who, but they said like there was like a last minute change to the script or a last minute change to like something, and Channing Tatum and Tom Hardy were just like nah. But it was not what I expected, but in a good way.
I agree.
Like I thought it was going to be like every 15 minutes there's a gunfight, every 15 minutes there's someone dying kind of thing. But no, you were literally left in suspense the entire movie of like what's happening. This is literally all we're getting, like these guys just transferring money like over. And then like the scene when they're on the rocks, that was crazy.
That was crazy, yeah.
And you felt bad, but you like at the same time you didn't feel bad. Like it was like one of those like you don't know how to feel when it happened.
Yeah.
Because the guy, he was just like horrible like towards his team, but he was the only one that had a family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like you're torn for like the personal reasons, but like you're torn for the reasons that are not put in the movie, but you're like for the reasons that he's in the movie, you're like, all right, he kind of deserved it.
Yeah.
Because he was like the one that was like, oh, what's another like 50 pounds gonna do? Like,
and it ended up screwing them all over.
Yeah. But then again, like he's like literally the one that's like, oh, I love you, and then the door is like, yeah, I miss you. And you're like, oh, he was doing this for you, and he died.
And it's like it leaves like the question too, like what did they say to the family?
Exactly.
Like, well, they did that scene at the end. Whatever money they like took, they're like, "Oh, I'm just gonna cut my share and give it to the family," and then they all ended up just giving it. Which the ending is what I found interesting. It was like one of them had like the GPS coordinates of like the canyon where they dumped it, and it's like, well, are they gonna go back or whatever?
And that's where Channing Tatum and Tom Hardy come back.
Oh my God! Imagine
Quadruple Frontier.
Quadruple Frontier. There was even a point, like, when they were, like, going through the mountains, I honestly forgot how many of them there were.
What was it,
Yeah,
like 5, 4?
It was
5,
five.
I think.
Was it
Like,
Ben
there was a
Affleck,
point,
Oscar
I'm like,
Isaac, Charlie
like, is there
Hunnam?
only 3 of them? I'm like, is there only 3 of them? And I was like, oh wait, no, there's 5.
What was it?
Yeah,
It was Ben Affleck, Charlie
Isaac,
Hunnam,
It was 5.
Pedro Pascal,
Pedro
Yeah.
Pascal is the one I couldn't remember.
Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Such a good show.
Great show. Can't wait for season 2 to come out.
Do you think it was finished?
I don't know. That's the big thing. It's like,
Well, because there's still like rumors about the casting for season 2, so I feel like it's definitely not.
it's definitely not. I think, yeah, because I saw those rumors on like Instagram and stuff of people being like officially recasted or casted for the new season. So it's like, it's probably not going to come out for a while.
I feel like it was supposed to film over the summer, and now it's just not gonna.
Same thing with like the Marvel shows that were supposed to.
Oh, Seb Pros.
And I think WandaVision might be like done. Is WandaVision done?
It might be, but you froze, so we missed all of that.
Oh, well, I was just saying, like, all the Marvel shows that were supposed to come out, like WandaVision, like, is that finished? I know Falcon and Winter Soldier is definitely not finished because that got postponed.
I thought it was finished.
I heard it wasn't because they weren't able to film in the location that they needed to be in, like Puerto Rico or something like that.
That makes me sad. I thought that was the only one that was done.
I think WandaVision might be, like, close to done.
Yeah, I was gonna, like I was saying before, if they just have posts and they don't have to, reshoots are like the big thing. If they don't have to do reshoots, then they're set. If all they have to do is post production, that's just my opinion. I still don't know a lot about post production, but it's mostly like editing, sound, stuff like that. But anything that's in any other spot, it's like production hell.
That was like the only reason why I wanted to get Netflix was just for the Marvel stuff, honestly. Like all the spin-offs and whatever, but at the same time, like I haven't got it. I'm probably not gonna get it.
I would get it like just do free trials and make new emails. That's what I would do.
Because I have that much free time on my hands.
All right.
Shots, wow.
Just go on like the temp mail and just like find a new email every week.
Was it? I actually do pay for it, but it was because like the Clone Wars was coming out, and then I forgot to cancel it.
What a great season of Clone Wars that was! Oh my god, incredible!
I'm ambiguous because I felt it closed the show very well, but at the same time, I didn't like a third of the season.
Yep. The middle part of Ahsoka with the two sisters, I thought was a complete waste of time.
I thought it was extremely dragged out. They could have done it in 2 episodes.
2 episodes and maybe 1.
You introduce the sisters in the 1 episode, and then they go on the trip at the very end, and then you do the trip the whole next episode.
Yeah.
Because they had to introduce Darth Maul. That's how they did it.
Mm.
But the whole thing with the clones made me so sad.
That was really like emotional. To like relive that experience.
Jesse
I feel
too.
like if I get Disney Plus, I'm gonna cancel my Amazon Prime membership and then like get Disney Plus.
Yeah, but then if you order stuff, do you just have Prime Video or do you do?
No, I have with Amazon Prime you get everything.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
right,
So
yeah.
I mean, like Amazon Prime Video, there's like really nothing I watch anymore. Like The Boys, that's a good show on Amazon Prime.
I heard that's a good show. That's something I need to add to my list.
Wait, you haven't seen The Boys, Seb?
I haven't seen The Boys.
Seb, you would love that show.
It's literally like if superheroes were in today's time and how it's like literally like instead of saving people, it's all about money.
Interesting.
It's such like an interesting concept.
And it's like TVMA, so it's completely uncensored.
Yeah.
And they cover like social issues. It's great.
First 15 seconds into it, just like all like you see what kind of show it is.
Yeah. Okay. Dude, it's so good. Yeah, literally that first like Tom said, is just blew my mind.
Yeah. I don't know, but then I watched what's the other show with Al Pacino?
Irishman?
Yeah, no, it's a TV show on Amazon Prime.
Oh,
the Nazi one?
Yeah.
Is it the Nazi one?
Hunters?
Yeah. I watched it. I liked it, but I didn't really pay attention that much because there was a lot of like fluff in there, in my opinion. Like a lot of unimportant stuff, or like a lot of like information that they dragged out a lot.
Mm-hmm. What was it?
But other than that, Amazon Prime, I found nothing else I wanted to watch on that.
Have you seen Jack Ryan?
I tried to. I didn't get into it. It just seemed like every other like I'm gonna save the day kind of stuff. I mean, John Krasinski, I'm sure he did a phenomenal job, but sorry, John.
I have to watch A Quiet Place. That's on Amazon Prime.
I saw the kill count on that, so it kind of spoiled it for me.
Oh, don't tell me.
There's a YouTube channel called Dead Meat. I love it.
Yeah, I know them. They're really good.
So he's so funny.
Them and CinemaSins I watch for like my movie stuff.
I only watch it for the movies like I've either watched already or the movies I know that I have like no interest in watching.
See, I can't watch CinemaSins because it's ruined movies for me, and then I'm just like,
I remember the biggest ruining thing from a movie it did was like the Superman movie. I forget which one it was. It was like, yeah, at the beginning of the movie, you see that the date on the newspaper is this date. And then if you look at the end of the movie, they show another newspaper, and it's the day after. So you're trying to tell us that whole movie, everything that happened in one day? There's no shot. But like really like ruined the movie. Like it makes absolutely no sense. He's right.
I'm curious to see which Superman it was.
It was like one of the I can't even remember that. I didn't really care for the Superman movies.
Was it?
You didn't like Man of Steel?
I don't know. I think it was the one before that.
So that would be like what, Brandon Routh's Superman?
I think so. Henry Cavill's Superman was what? The first one was Man of Steel?
Yeah.
Hold on.
2013.
I think Man of Steel is probably like a gem that's like underrated.
Okay. I agree with you to an extent because I watched it like after it came, like before Batman v Superman, but like not when it came out. And I watched it. I felt the buildup was too long. And it didn't like I didn't like it because there was so much buildup and it like focused like around Lois Lane. And then there was one I caught it on TV. And after I caught it on TV, from that point that I saw it, it was great and I loved it. It was like a little bit before the action started.
The action I thought was really well done.
Yeah, me too.
Especially the fight scenes and stuff.
Yeah.
The Batman vs Superman Justice League movies, not bad, just rushed.
Yep.
Yes. I 100% agree.
Yep.
I remember I was in the library. It was like probably the Monday after Batman vs Superman came out. I didn't see it yet. And there's literally just two kids like talking behind me, and this one guy's like, the biggest point of the movie is Lex Luthor's urine, and I'm like, what? I'm like, because the court scene.
Oh.
When Sweet Granny's sweet tea.
Oh yeah.
He was like, that was the best part of the movie. I'm like, huh? But no, I thought it was a good movie. It was just very poorly written.
Yeah, if it was like done properly with a good time schedule, it would have been fine. People were like, "Oh, it's the worst DC movie of all time." Like the fact that Martha was the only reason why Batman didn't kill Superman. I'm like,
I mean, the
rest of the movie was still kind of good.
I wish like the fight was longer.
Yeah.
I wish the fight was longer. I wish the trailers didn't show Doomsday or Wonder Woman. I feel like if you kept those under lock and people went into the movies and saw that happen, I feel like it would have been insane. They just don't know how to like advertise a movie properly. Like Marvel knows how to do advertisements for their movies by keeping all the major plot points under wraps and keeping fans in the dark.
Marvel does a lot of curveballs.
Yes. They're not afraid to hit curveballs at you.
The big one I remember was Infinity War, with the scenes of them, like, each of them running at each other, like, the Hulk was there. And then, like, you see him, he's in the Hulk Buster, and you're like, wait, wasn't the Hulk supposed to be there? And Marvel's like, huh, gotcha.
Yeah, that
Apparently
entire...
that was cut.
Yeah. Because then they didn't even tell, like, the people that make their, like, products, because, what was it? There was the pop figures?
The Funko Pop.
They released it the day after. They're like, well, we're told that this isn't a spoiler for the movie, so we're releasing it. And it's the Hulk breaking out of the Hulk Buster suit, and it never happened.
I'm still waiting. I have, like, pretty much everyone I want. There's an Iron Man one being released June 20th. That's, like, him on his knees with the gauntlet. I'm waiting for that one. My uncle, he, like, looked at them and he's like, where's Iron Man? Like, you're missing, like, the important one. I'm like, gotta give me time, man.
I bought 7 of those, of that exact one.
Of the Iron Man?
Yeah, that exact one. I'm gonna sell them.
Yeah.
Because online they're worth like $40.
Wow. I have Hulk, Ant-Man, Hawkeye, Captain Marvel, Thanos, Thor, Spidey, and Captain America. And I'm just like I don't know. I feel like I don't want multiples of the same. Like, I don't want, like, 3 Hulks and, like, 3 Iron Mans kind of thing.
Yeah, those are, like, the 2, because it's like they're always in the armor. At least, like, some of the other ones get different costumes. Yeah. Like, I have 2 Thors. One is from Ragnarok, and then one is him with, like, holding the axe and Mjolnir.
Yeah.
So it's like certain things like that. I'm like, okay, like, I don't need like 8 Spider-Mans.
Yeah. I saw they're releasing ones where it's like you can put them together, and it's like they're releasing 3 of them. I forget who it is.
They now have 4.
At the end of it, it's going to be like all of them circled up at the beginning of the first Avengers movie.
Yeah, I think that's really cool. I'm not going to get it, but I think it's really cool.
Yeah. But, like, right now I have, like, the Professor Hulk holding the 2 tacos and Bro Thor. I feel like I have to get, like, a real Hulk and a real Thor.
Well, you got the real Thor keychain.
Yeah. That kind of fell off, though. Those keychains are not that good. Those keychains are not good. I do not recommend getting them. I got one for Gil, and even Gil was saying, like, his was falling off.
What'd you get him, the Flash?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm still, like, debating on, like, what series I want to get next for the Funkos. I have Avengers and then The Office.
Community, man.
I don't know about the Community.
They have, I think, everyone except for Pierce. And the Dean. They don't have the Dean or Chang.
The happiest one I got was I know last year Panic at the Disco released a Brendan Urie one, and it, like, sold out just like that. So just randomly they re-released him, and literally, like, I was, like, reading some of the comments on Twitter, and some of the people were like, really, like, my dad bought one for me off eBay for $200, and now you're, like, re-releasing it for regular price.
That's
so
rough.
It's just so funny. Like it sucks. Like, I would be pissed if that was me in that situation, but it's, like, funny from my standpoint because I'm like, good thing I wasn't into Funko Pops back then. So now I have one for, like, retail, and then it's like everyone's like, I bought mine for like $70 on eBay.
Well, that's why, like, I have a thing, like, I won't pay more than like 30.
Yeah.
Seb, do you have any?
I have Iron Spidey, Hawkeye, Jon Snow, and Master Roshi from Dragon Ball.
Nice.
I don't know. I feel like I want to get more, but it's also, like, low-key an addiction, and I don't want to get, like, overboard with it.
That's why I have to hold myself to series.
Like, when I go to Comic-Con, it's, like, huge. Like, Funko Pops are, like, the thing at Comic-Con. Yeah. And I'm like, I see people walking out with, like, bags and bags of, like, limited edition Comic-Con, like, pop figures. And I'm like,
See, I'm not that crazy to where like I need to go get like the limited edition one. Like I don't care. Some of them are like, I can't believe you took it out of the box, and I'm like, wait, that's the thing. I keep it in the box.
Yeah, some people like have like walls of pop figures just in the box, and I'm like,
no, it's out of the box. Sorry,
John.
One of them.
Well, okay, so for me, I don't have shelves, so I can't like just put them out, and I have, like you guys just saw all of them. It's so much easier to display them where I can stack them.
Yeah.
So until I have like the shelf space where I can put like all of them out, but you don't ask me how much I have because I don't want to lie about the number.
I purchased a shelf, big baller things right here.
See,
shelf specifically for Funko Pops.
Yeah.
If I wasn't renting out this apartment, then I would have already put them up. But I don't want to like get in trouble and like lose the deposit. So we're gonna have, after COVID, like one of our family friends like is like I think a carpenter or something, but he can like test where like the beams are. Yeah. So we're gonna have him do that.
I have a shelf of my Avengers, and I have my office on the office people on the dresser. The office are releasing some new ones too.
Yeah, they've been releasing a lot. They had Golden Face, Book Face, Golden Finger, Book Face.
Well, no Golden Face. Yeah, I just have the Avengers, the Office, and then Brendan Urie. That's it.
Good squad.
All right.
Thank you all for. Okay, do it again.
Outro music.
Do. Roomies.
Punch.
That's the outro music, and then we'll do an actual outro.
Outro music.
Thank you. Don't say music. I'm gonna like go to edit this, and I'm just gonna hear outro music 3 different times.
We're paying him big bucks to edit this. He better put some fire beats for outro music.
Do Roomies.
Hey.
That's gonna be its own thing.
Hey.
But yeah, thank you for everyone that tuned in. We're
5
going.
of you. Thank you, Mom.
Yes.
And I know you support me.
That would actually really work to be 5, because like your mom, your dad, Seb's mom, Seb's dad, my mom,
and my puppy.
Oh.
I'm gonna make my dog watch it.
Do it.
All right, and thank you to our loyal brand sponsor.
I see.
Yeah,
it should be high C for this one. It should be high C.
4 to 7.
8 sips per box, boys. 8 sips.
4 to 8. 4 to 8 Jon-sips a box.
Yes.
And outro music.
Do Roomies.